And then she said, no, that's a Ninja Turtle. Oh! Welcome to the 2145 podcast. Thank you guys for just all the encouragement. Please like and subscribe this video so we can get a following and hopefully just make great content. I want to have people on here. I know you want to have people on here.
Absolutely.
And we're just going to have – this is a great time.
It is a great time.
Yeah.
And it's a crazy time, and it's a busy time.
Correct.
But we got this, man. We totally got this.
No, I'm excited.
Zach Burke, how are you?
Man, I'm doing great.
You know what we're going to talk about today is a topic that's very passionate for you.
Yeah.
And that is the collecting and the reading of comic books.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, huge part of my life.
We got a little theme going on here.
We do. Yeah. We got this is Batman heavy. Batman heavy episode.
Hang on to that content.
All right, exactly.
That's right, with that new trailer coming out.
Ooh, man.
What did you think of that real quick?
Man, dude, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm excited.
I was scared about Robert Pattinson being Batman, but after seeing that trailer, I was like, 2 thumbs up, guys.
I think also the Riddler is a cool villain.
First of all, I don't know.
Intellectual villain.
Who's playing the Riddler?
I have no idea.
Okay. So, see, there you go. There's intrigue there because I was like,
right.
This is a guy that looks a little mysterious.
Yeah. Something different, though.
It's
very
different.
I feel like we've been given a lot of the same kind of Batman stories. So this is a cool, fresh take. Right on.
Okay, so in the world of comic book collecting, there's many things that you have to keep track of. And I noticed that on the table here, we've got a small segment of your collection, which is Star Wars Legacy.
For sure.
The Red Robin.
Yeah.
Detective Comics, Batman and Robin. We even got a little
Walking
homage
Dead
to the Walking Dead.
I know you love the Walking Dead.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I did. I pulled that out.
Yeah. We got a record on display up there of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. But you said that that album's wasn't intended to be called that.
No, I think the original title of that record was Lords of Karma.
Lords of Karma. That's a cool title.
Thank goodness Satriani was like, you know what? Let's go with Surfing with the Alien.
Right.
Yeah. Excellent title.
I mean, the cover art speaks for itself.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you tell us, walk us through, how did you get started with comic books?
Well, before I start, we've shot this episode like at least 10 times.
We
have.
Guys,
so, not that it's not going to be fresh, but I think all the audio problems have taken their toll. But now we figured it out, and we have some fresh lights. So we're about to get it.
Fresh lights.
Some fresh lights.
Yes.
All right. So basically, how I got into the world of comic books and collecting comics was that I was going to fail the 5th grade.
Okay.
They called up my mom, and they were like, Mrs. Burke or Miss Burke, your son has a reading disability, and we're going to have to hold him back. Because we don't think he can, go up to par. They said I had a 2nd grade reading level in 5th grade.
Wow. All right.
So they were like talking about summer school, and they were talking about, special classes and tutors and, all of that. But my mom was like, we're okay. And they were like, no, this is kind of a big deal. We see this a lot. And she was like, no, I think I'll get it to where, I'll get this kid where he needs to be.
Gotcha.
So she was like, I got it, hangs up the phone, and everyone's like, well, this kid's a goner. But my mom took me to a comic book shop called the Book Nook.
Shout out to Findlay, Ohio.
Yep. We've both spent our days.
Oh man.
Spent our days there.
The Book Nook was owned and operated by 2 lovely ladies who were sisters.
The sweetest ladies.
And their knowledge and background on DC and Marvel and Image and Dark Horse was just above all the rest.
Yeah.
And that was before we had any Marvel movies or DC movies, major movies.
Dude, do you remember that we were on a list?
We were on a list.
We were on a list at one point. It was a special list.
Ladies and gentlemen, the special list basically means that they pull the comics before they go to the newsstand.
Yeah.
So they never make it to the newsstand. So if that store gets, say, 100 of Star Wars Legacy for that specific issue, all the people on the list get their comics pulled first.
Yep.
And what makes it to the newsstand is 5 or 6.
Right, exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. And if they all get sold, then that's it.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah, that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
But so, I think I'm in trouble because I can't read. I already kind of feel like the stupid kid because I'm like, all my friends are getting it but me. And we go into the Book Nook, and my mom was just like, pick whatever you want. And I was like, okay, so what's the limit? Like 10? Are we doing like 12? Seeing like how far I can push it. And she was just like, no, the rule is like whatever you pick up, you have to read.
Nice.
And so we left. You were holding stacks of comics like this. I was holding them like this.
I remember that day.
Mom's holding comics, and we left with an insane amount of comic books.
Sure.
The price of that, I have no idea. Probably a pretty penny, but I did read all of them, and that really kind of sparked my interest because I was reading something, that I wanted to, and it was, colorful, and you could see the art and illustrations were different, and they were talking, about adult topics, and it was a good time for me to expand my creativity, and really just spark the imagination of a child.
Sure. And
so I keep reading. I'm not reading just these. I got into different books that I really enjoy, like The Giver and a bunch of like sci-fi fantasy novels. But in 4 months, when they retest me for reading and writing, I was at a sophomore in high school.
Good for you, man.
Yeah. So
so the world of comics really helped you overcome that disability?
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that my mom was like, hey, I have a custom plan for this kid.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is kind of missed in today's education. You kind of all get, the
same thing.
The same thing. Every kid's treated the same, which is a shame. But, my mom was like, no. She was very about, making waves back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So she was just like, nah, not my kid. And they were like, no. And that's why, like, in the beginning of the story, like, I tell people, like, they thought I was gone. Like, they were like, this kid, he's reading comic books, and he's reading, like, sci-fi, these sci-fi fantasy books. He's not going to get anywhere.
And sometimes educators are like, hey, we're the educators. You're just the parent.
Right.
But in this case, Paige Burke, she had a plan, and she implemented the plan.
For sure. Yeah.
And in my opinion, because you were able to elevate your reading level so quickly.
Yeah.
That it's put you in the position where you are today, because I understand that you're writing a novel.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, and so can you tease an ETA about when that book will drop?
We're hoping for 9 months.
Okay.
But we're also starting this channel, and
a lot going on.
I'm in a healthy relationship.
There you go.
With a great woman, and I have a job. I have another job. I'm kind of all over the place right now. But we're hoping for 9 months.
Okay.
Heavy sci-fi fantasy.
Okay, so that's kind of the genre that it's going to occupy?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a very me genre.
I gotcha. What so we've got, so first of all, let's talk about, like, if we can, give us an idea about what's so special about the Star Wars Legacy. We have 2 comics. They're actually different. It looks like the same comic. It's just a different cover, but I don't know. You tell us a little bit about that.
So the different covers, one of them's a variant.
Okay. What's that?
Basically means that it's more rare because the artist or the illustrator who illustrated the comic decided he wanted he or she wanted a different cover.
Okay.
And so it's kind of they don't produce as many as the standard, so they're more rare, and it
drives up the price, and
right?
And also that creates a little bit of hysteria on how scarce it is, which drives kids and their parents to go all over the state of Ohio, like we've been down in Columbus.
Oh, for sure, sure. Yeah.
And searching for the variant.
Right, yeah. And I mean, I have so many variants. And there's variant 1, variant 2, variant 3, and they all have different covers.
Gotcha.
And it's really great.
So what's so special about Star Wars Legacy? The story of Star Wars Legacy centers around what character?
Centers around Cade Skywalker.
Cade Skywalker.
Which for me, I mean, when I said I was reading about adult stories, that's really what this is. This is not I'm not trying to bash Disney. I love Disney, but this is not a Disney's it's not
a
front
polished
runner.
leading man.
Exactly, yeah. He's kind of he has a drug problem, and his life is a mess.
His life's a mess. How's his lightsaber skills?
Man, great.
But he's strung out.
Right, he's strung out. He's not when he's not on drugs, they're great. If he can find the lightsaber, you know what I mean?
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah. So you have this guy, and he's a Skywalker. So everyone's thinking that everyone already put him in a box.
Sure.
And he's kind of using drugs as an escape because he doesn't want to be, what everyone tells him he should be.
Right.
And so, reading that at 12, I'm like, whoa, this is such a cool character. But drugs are ruining this guy's life.
Sure.
So, I mean, that also kind of showed me, that's how I was introduced to it. You know what I mean? And that kind of helped shaped who I am today, because you're getting all of these like adult stories that you wouldn't be, usually when you're in elementary, middle school, they're not like, hey, read this book about a drug addict.
Yeah. Wielding a lightsaber,
right?
Trying to save the universe.
Exactly. This dude,
but can't save himself.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's going in and out, and but yeah, I mean, Star Wars Legacy is one of my favorite comic book stories. I've collected all of them, but it's a great way to introduce something to people.
Gotcha.
Great character.
Okay, so let's talk about the list of Robins. First of all, we used to watch the Teen Titans animated series.
Dude. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
And we loved the Robin versus Slade.
That's one of the best.
One of the best.
The best.
And we believe, and we've talked about this before, we believe that Robin was a take on Dick Grayson.
Yes. Yeah.
And so if you could, with Red Robin, now I understand Red Robin is actually Tim Drake.
Yes, correct.
But give us a little background on the Red Robin and talk about, like, what is this list of Robins? Like, why is that so important?
So important. Okay, so the first Robin was Dick Grayson.
The Flying Graysons.
Yep. That's that whole story, kind of the OG Robin. And he goes through different phases. He becomes Nightwing, and then he eventually becomes Batman.
Nice.
So he's kind of like your number one guy.
Okay.
Then you have Jason Todd, who becomes Red Hood. They think he's dead. He comes back. No one's favorite Robin. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then you have the third Robin, Tim Drake, who's, more of an intellectual Robin. His like intro is that he finds out who Robin and Batman are.
Nice.
So he's like a real detective. Okay. And Ra's al Ghul even said that he's a better detective than Batman.
No way.
Dude, I'm telling you, it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't know. You kind of got it's like an Aristotle Plato type thing.
Okay. So
you have, the greatest master that you could have teaching someone that is already has a high aptitude for it.
Right.
So
Nice.
I don't know. That's that. And then you have a Robin called, I believe, Carrie Kelly.
Okay.
I don't read those comics. That comic run's not my favorite.
That's all right.
Just in general. I don't like Batman in that comic. I don't like Rob. I don't like any of that story.
Okay.
But after that, then you have Damian Wayne.
As seen on the one on the corner here, if anybody can see that.
Yeah, so he is Batman's son and trained by the League of Assassins, and he's got a hood.
Nice.
So he's more of a tough character.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that whole Robin and Slade interaction back in the Teen Titans day?
It's the best.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's the best. And even in Titans, the show we watch is just called Titans.
Yes.
Where he's like, Dick Grayson is a charlatan. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yes.
Every time.
Almost the same Slade that we remember on the animated show.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because he's always, man, Robin is just so eager to just fight him. And he never gives him what he wants.
Right.
And that's like the best. Because he's like, come out here and fight me, Slade. And then Slade's like, oh, Robin, I've been messing with your mind all day. And you're like, what's going on? And he's like, you have no idea what's going on. And you're like, I've watched 3 seasons of this.
That's
I should know. And then,
give us a bone. Fight this guy.
Right.
Yes.
Like, we want to see the fight. But with that kind of take is that, my take on it is that Slade is kind of a Batman type character.
Okay.
And they're seen as equals, pretty much. Batman usually wins because he gets the upper hand.
Right.
But that's why the dynamic is so great, is because you have Batman fighting Robin. And Robin has to realize that he can't win being Robin. He really has to figure out how to put Batman into a team, and that together, they're better than Batman. They can overcome like that. How do you say it? Like that character,
right?
And he does, because he realizes, like, hey, I have to be the leader of a team. I can't just be second in command. I can't be what everyone else tells me I am. I kind of have to figure out how to make Batman in a team environment, and he ends up doing that, which is a cool kind of thing that goes on.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
All right, so as we get ready to wrap up this episode, you might have you got an explanation to a movie that's near and dear to me and to you, and we've all seen it in our family a dozen times.
For sure.
And that is the movie Inception.
Yeah.
Yeah. And every time I watch that movie, I have to have the ending explained to me, because Christopher Nolan does such a great job.
Oh, he's so great.
He is. So
best director, I think, ever.
Yes.
The dude doesn't miss.
But what do you think about what is actually happening with the totem? And is the top that's spinning the totem, or is it something else?
So my take on Inception, which I can't verify this, but if I was looking at it just from like a writer's perspective, the whole movie really takes its focus on Leonardo DiCaprio's character.
Okay.
I think his name's Dom. Yeah. And basically it's all about his marriage. If you really look at it, it's not about the dream levels or, his running with the law. It really is kind of how he deals with a lost one.
I gotcha.
And, mental illness plays a part in it and lots of different things. But I would say that the top that he spins is not the totem, but it's his wedding ring, because that's really what the movie really is about. And I think Christopher Nolan plays on the audience a little bit, and that he's kind of like, what's really important, and is it what's in front of you, or is it because that's I think what we all get kind of caught up in is what's in front of us.
Sure.
And what's in front of us isn't always what's important, and he he has that. So you spin the top, but his hand, it's like, is he wearing the wedding ring or is he not? And I think that's how I would play it. I don't know if this is true or not, but that's my take on it.
Sure.
And I think that's really, a powerful message, if it is true. I don't know.
It is quite the powerful message.
Yeah,
that's for sure. All right, and so the new director / producer of Star Wars is
Taika Waititi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you expect from that?
Man, I expect great things from that.
Okay.
I think that he's a great director. He flipped Thor around. You know, everyone was not very hot on that character.
That's true.
And you have Ragnarok, which is great, and he also has Love and Thunder. And he's the episodes that he did direct of The Mandalorian were my favorite.
Okay.
And I think he can play comedy well, and it's set in a time, I believe, the High Republic.
Okay.
Which is Jedi heavy, which is what I think everyone wants.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. Like, you and I have had that discussion where, like, you once asked me, like, you know, if there's going to be a new movie or a new set of movies, what would you want to see?
Yeah.
And going back to your Star Wars legacy, I had this vision where I see Cade Skywalker running into Starkiller, which is basically from a video game, right?
Yeah.
And
Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
And then
1 and 2.
And then it's just a battle. It's just an all-out battle. So you've kind of got the strung-out Cade Skywalker who's got all kinds of personal problems, and he's trying to exorcise demons, and he's going to take on Starkiller, who really is kind of a polished character that Disney might like, even though he's got an anger problem. See those two duke it out. And I think that would be cool because it's something that's never been explored before.
For sure not.
And it would be new content. And I think that would be exciting.
Yeah. One is a Skywalker. One was trained by a Skywalker.
That's right.
So you kind of get that.
So is it the training or is it who you are?
Right. Exactly. Yes. That's crazy.
Yes.
I never thought about that. That's interesting because Starkiller is a very, very direct character.
Absolutely.
You know, there's no funny business. He's not having fun on the weekends. But Cade's like, I'm having fun every day of the week. So I like that. I like that dynamic.
Yeah,
that'd be dope.
But I think that would be good. It'd be good for the Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
to try something new. Now, whatever happens remains to be seen because we don't know.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, you know, I just think that the storylines of bounty hunters and the Mandalorian. You and Mom watched The Mandalorian. You guys were several episodes ahead of me.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I just wasn't into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, so basically I watched it for two things. I watched it for Baby Yoda, and I watched it for Gina Carano. And that was it.
She was great in that.
She was good.
She was so great. Yeah. I was very surprised.
And to take a career from UFC and fighting to go to the silver screen, or you know, like short series.
Right.
I think that takes some skill.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, those are my favorite things of The Mandalorian. So.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So that wraps up episode 1. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we appreciate it. Please hit like and subscribe.
That's right.
We beg of you. No, I'm just playing. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in episode 2 where we talk about some Star Wars.